This demo will cover our assignment 6, the structure of letters. To get started, we just want to find it within our Canvas assignment and click on it. And we want to download the assignment 6 structure of letters PDF. And this is pretty much a PDF that discusses how to execute the project. So currently we are sketching the modernist chairs and also the initials of the designer of those chairs. What I'd like to do is to look in depth a little bit further with the letter forms itself. What we're going to be looking at and what you're kind of currently sketching are going to simplify the letter forms into 4 key strokes: vertical, horizontal, slanted, and then curvilinear. And this pretty much makes up the entire alphabet, just down to the strokes. So right now you guys are looking at type combinations with Futura and Universe and Helvetica. This just simplifies it down even further to the basic strokes of an actual alphabet, of a letter form. And it really breaks down into the foundation and visual code, more or less a visual code that is recognizable through reading and writing. So to get started, what we need to do is find our latest version of the compendium that we have. So I have a compendium template version 4, and I just want to do a save as. And do a V5. So currently in your compendium, it should look like this. We should have a blank cover page. We have our anatomy page, overlap, the legibility page, a cropping page, and a kinetics page. So if it isn't in this order currently, please make sure that you change your pages, move your pages around within your page window and reorganize them before you go any further. And also double check that all your text is set to Universe, and also all your headings are set to Universe, and all the text is in place as well. So we're just going to drag a right page. So we want to release the master so we can actually be able to edit the text later and also access the grid. So if we control click, override all master items, you can see it kind of glitch there, and it releases it so we can edit the text, but also we'll bring our grid up, and that's what we'll work with in putting together our assignment. So if I zoom in, the first stroke characters we'll work with is a vertical stroke and then a horizontal stroke. And then we'll just kind of go through and build a vertical stroke with a slanted stroke, slanted with horizontal, and so on. So just going to set up this grid initially, and then we'll copy and paste and build from there. So we just use the line tool. Draw a basic line. I would say if you do it at 0.5 in length, it should be just about right. And you can either do it at 0.5 or 1 point for the stroke value. Should get something more like this. I would just align it with the type and also align it with my previous. So again, this is above the horizon line of my kinetics exercise. So I just want to bring this down so it aligns with that. Something more like this. Then I'll do the horizontal. Again, I'll just set it at 0.5. And then to set the type, we want to do universe 55 at 18 point. You can draw this box out a little bit further, just so you have room for more letter forms. And this is just starting our initial grid. So now if I select all of this, hit Option and Shift, I can copy and paste it. And you see a snap into place, just like so. And this is how we get the grid to copy and paste. Again, holding Shift and Option to get the alignments. So again, Shift, Option, and you'll get the snap again and again. And you can see that again our spacing between each is consistent. So we need 6 total. Now we have a basic setup. So again, vertical with a slanted stroke. The slanted stroke, you just use the rotation to about 70%. And you can move that over a little bit. And just raise and lower so that it's equal with the vertical line, the vertical stroke. Again, you can kind of play around with placement, just whatever looks good. The next one we need slanted stroke, so we can get rid of this one, get rid of this one. Again, just hold Shift and Option, you can copy it down. It's slanted with the stroke, so we can just get rid of this one here, hold Option, copy it down. One with the curvilinear, so we're going to delete this. Again, the pen tool in Illustrator works much better than it does in InDesign, but this is just a really simple shape to work with, so we're going to knock it out in InDesign instead. Little trick is when you're rolling in the space with the pen tool, you can see that this is in alignment with the top of the line. And then I'm trying to find the vertical middle spot of that stroke, and you can see that it's showing up here, and it aligns with the left vertical stroke. And if I hold Shift, it'll snap into place and make a perfect arc. And I just want to align it with the other one. Click another point. And now I've made my curvilinear arc. And I just want to set this at 0.5 because the rest of mine are set at 0.5. And then the last one we have is a curve with a horizontal. So just going to delete this line. Again, hold Option, copy this guy down. You can see some of my alignment is getting a little bit out of whack. So what I do is maybe move it down just a little bit. Let's make sure it's centered. And we can kind of see the stroke on these guys is a little too long for the space, so we're just going to shorten it up. Something a little more like that will work. So we can see with the layout, even though the spacing is correct, it looks a little bit out of whack. So what I'm going to do visually is just shift this guy down one or two and maybe push this left. Push the shape left but not push the type, so this type stays in alignment, and we're just trying to get these kind of visually look aligned. So again, these align, but once we introduce the curved shape, it kind of throws it off, so it's best to just kind of eyeball it from there. Okay, so now that I have my template set up, now we're going to really talk about the purpose of the assignment and just starting to understand how the code works. So, for example, if I'm looking for letter forms that have both a vertical and a horizontal stroke, we're going to put them in this answer key across. So, for example, a letter form with a vertical and a horizontal is a capital E, a capital F, a capital H. Now that can be 2 verticals and only 1 horizontal, 1 horizontal, an L, and a T. We also want to include lowercase. So what we're going to do is give a few extra spaces. We might have run out of space here, so maybe extend your text box to where your grid ends here. Give a few spaces, maybe align your lowercase here. So a lowercase example would be a T. And you can list all the lowercase that you can think of. Maybe it's a J. So for the rest of the assignment, what I'd like you to do is go through all of these and assign the letter forms to the appropriate strokes. So one more for everyone is a letter form that has a vertical stroke but also a slanted stroke. A very simple one is K. So as you go through, you can list all the both capital and lowercase letters. Just make sure you're saving as you go along. And then our last step would be to copy and paste the title and the text for this one. So the title is Structure of Letters. As always, the structure of letters text is in here, so we can select it all, copy, and paste. So just like before, we have text that's overrunning. We select this text and delete it. See that we always have this little red plus. Click the plus, flow it into the second column. You can also control the height of the text. So again, we're just trying to get the best presentation. This gives us the best presentation of all of our copy. So now I have the template set up. I have all the text in place, the title in place, and I just have to fill in all the rest of the letter forms to complete assignment 6. Thank you.